The deposit has been paid and the decision has been made. The portal says committed and you have a sticker, but you haven't put it on your back of your car yet because it still doesn't feel totally real. And I want to talk to you about that because nobody tells you what happens after the yes. We spend so much time on the search, the application, the waiting, and then the moment is done. We don't really know what to do with ourselves. So today, that's what we're getting into. What really shifts after your kid commits, and what your job as a parent becomes in the next search. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to the Black Family Podcast. We're going to talk today about the wait between the summer transition phase. During the course of a young person's life, most of their achievements have been capped with huge celebrations, such as their first birthday. We go out and we buy all this stuff, and the baby doesn't even know what's going on, but it's a celebration. And every birthday thereafter comes with huge celebrations. And every road map stop back, and every road map that stop back and every milestone that they complete, we celebrate. Their first steps, losing a tooth, all of it comes with huge celebration. And this last one, accepting a college offer, came and left with no real huge celebration. They may have posted stating that I'm going to XYZ college, but that was it. Nothing more. Just a declaration. But what's left? You know you're going to college. You know that you're going to study. And you know that it's the next step in a huge part of your life that's going to take a lot of time. But that decision, although it seems like it should have been monumental, came and went with very little celebration. This anticlimax that nobody warned you about can feel weirdly flat, not just for parents, but for the students too. Their excitement seems to kind of pass fast, and what is left is like a low grade uncertainty. They kind of feel like they signed something that was wrong, or they didn't choose the right course, or maybe they should have waited. It's all a roundabout way of second guessing themselves. Actually, it's a sign that your kid is taking this thing seriously. If they weren't second guessing themselves, I would kind of check in on that. Talking about the nervous energy of the surge doesn't just evaporate, it transforms into something harder to name. When you think about your child and what they're going through, I want you to talk about what it felt like the day when that final decision was done. What did your house feel like? Did your kids seem deflated, relieved, or just quiet? Did you expect more confetti than you got? That's a real question that you should investigate because this is the start of a new journey, and how you enter it is very important. Almost every family experiences a wave of did we make the right decision after committing? It's normal. Normal doubt versus real doubt, and how to tell the difference is very important to know. Even when the decision was a crystal clear decision, you still go through this. That's normal. Real doubt sounds different. It sounds persistent, it's specific, it keeps coming back. That is real doubt. Help stop back. Parents recognize which one they're dealing with. Stop back. The goal here isn't to talk about any. I'm sorry. Stop back. Doubt is real. The goal is not to talk yourself out of doubt. The goal is to have the language to hold on to the doubt without spiraling. Stop back. The goal is to deal with the doubt without spiraling. And importantly, your kid is probably having the same questions and not saying it out loud. Stop back. More importantly, your child is probably having the same questions and not saying it out loud. This is the time where real communication becomes the anchor for your family. You need to express what you're feeling in a way that does not unanchor your child, but also leave space for them to also express their doubts without unanchoring the decision. What does a second guessing sound like in your house? Are you projecting any of your own doubt onto your child? You got to really understand that you need to not do that because they're already dealing with so much. What would you tell a friend who was going through this? Before you approach your child, get a clear understanding of what you're going through, but also remain open and clear and available to share. This is a journey that your whole family will need to take together. Another thing I want to warn you about during this time is the comparison trap. Other schools, comparing what other families are doing. May is brutal for this. Everyone's announcing their kid's school on social media, and suddenly you're messaging your decisions against stop back, and suddenly you're measuring your decision against every post that you see. Your decision is yours. Your child is yours. You need to understand your decision. Stop comparing. Your child is not like any other child. Your financial situation is your financial situation. And quite frankly, a lot of parents lie. They'll tell you that my child has gotten this major scholarship and they're doing great. They're just telling you that, but in the back of their mind, they're probably having the same doubts as you. Stop listening to the noise and pay attention to what's happening. Now, you need to get real honest about what the right school actually means. And it has nothing to do with the neighbor's kid and what the neighbor's kid is doing. The family down the street made a decision based on their kid's need, and you made the decision based on yours. So I want you to ask yourself, what comparisons caught you off guard? And did your kid bring one home from school? So, like, so and so got into X school. How do you shut out that noise without dismissing their feelings? Because you're going to start seeing these comparisons. And these comparisons come with misaligned truths that can take you out of your element. Find a way to center your decision, your child, and your goals. The other side of the coin is some families are in grief. They're still dealing with the school that didn't pick their child. Maybe that school was a dream school, a school that that child had thought about for years, and it just didn't happen. Or maybe you just couldn't afford it, and the kid did everything that they were supposed to do to get into that school. And now, once they've done what they needed to do, you just simply can't afford to send them. The grief is real and it deserves a moment, not to be rushed past. You got to deal with it because there's a limit on how long you live in this, and it could have and stop back because there is a limit on how long you can live in what could have been. You cannot stay there forever. The school they're going to stop back. The schools that they stop back. The school that they end up going to is the story now, not the school that they wanted to go to. You need to acknowledge that loss without letting it cast a shadow on the new opportunity. You got to mourn, you got to grieve, and then you got to move on in order to realize the success that is really in front of you. So I want you to evaluate this. Was there a school in your family's process that stings a little? Stop back. Was there a school in your family's process that still stings a little? How did you talk about that with your kid without making them feel like a consolation prize? Have those conversations before your child leaves you. It'll help. Now, parents, I want you to listen to me. And I want you to just lay down your guard just a little bit because it's important and it's going to help. But your role must change now. During the application process, parents' roles were as problem solvers, whereas guides, and they did a lot of editing of essays and coordinating visits and managing deadlines and researching schools. But that moment is over. After your kid commits, your role has to shift. You are no longer the navigator. You're the co pilot. You're going to have to step back. The practical stuff still exists, like housing forms and orientation sign up and financial aid paperwork, but the emotional posture must change. Your kid needs you to believe in the decisions and not keep auditing the decision making process. They're going to make some decisions, and you're going to have to believe in the decisions that they make. Talk about what it means to be supportive. Talk about what it means to witness your child's excitement rather than being a second guesser. Yes, they're going to make mistakes, but this is the time for them to do it. Allow it, but allow it in a way that secures them. Don't allow them to make reckless mistakes, but allow them to make their own decisions. Where do you feel yourself still wanting to manage or control something in the process? Ask yourself that and see if you can back up just a little. What does it look like to hand more of this to your child? You're going to have to do that because if your child is going out of state and you're in another state, or they're on campus and you're on the job, they need to start handling things by themselves. And the only way that they're going to be able to do that successfully is if you show that you have trust and belief in them. You're their anchor. So you have to be steady. This is the last point I want to make. If you made a post about where your child is going to go, and where they've committed to, and you've had some residual anxiety, let me give you the antidote to the post commitment anxiety, and that is forward movement. But it must be the right kind of forward movement. There's real stuff to stop back. There's real stuff to do. Still, the FAFSA follow up. You still have financial aid situations going on. Scholarship opportunities are still out there to be gained. Housing applications, you still need to keep working on the housing application. You're going to get orientation registration. Keep a lookout for that. You're going to connect with the new roommate. It's going to be important to try to solidify that connection prior to meeting. So arranging that is going to be important. You're going to let your kid lead on this and support them from behind. This is actually the first real practice run at independence while you're still there. If you're doing it for them, you're missing the point. They need to pilot this journey, and you need to be the co pilot. I know I said that in the last part, but this is so very, very important. You and your child needs to move forward, even now between the time of commitment and the time of graduation. There's still so much to do. What tasks are on your list right now? And what are on your kids' list? Are they the same list? And who owns what? Get your things down on paper and get them done. Okay, here's what I want you to hold on to: the doubt you're feeling, the comparison you're caught yourself making, and what if that stop back. The what if that still pops up. None of that means you made the wrong decision. It means you're a parent who cares. The right school isn't the one with the best ranking or the biggest names on on stop back. The right school isn't the one with the best ranking or the biggest name on the sweatshirt. It's the one where your kid is going to grow into who they're supposed to be. You did the work. You made a thoughtful call. Now your job is to trust it and to help your kid trust it too. Next week, we're getting into the home stretch of senior year. Senioritis is real, but there's a way through it that doesn't require you to be the bad guy. I'll see you then. Bye.